This is amazing!
Yes.
Angela Marie Watson, age 34. You died last night in a car accident with your boyfriend Derek, the man you chose over your 3 children for 7 years, the man who abused your daughter, the man who broke your son's arm, the man your youngest learned to fear. And you knew, you saw, you chose him anyway. Broken by years of watching you choose a man over their protection, their safety, their childhood. Today you face the God who entrusted you with 3 souls and watched you sacrifice them for a relationship.
I loved him. I needed someone. I was lonely. Being a single mother is hard. I deserved happiness. I tried to protect my kids. I did my best. It's not my fault Derek had anger issues. I couldn't control him.
You couldn't control him, but you could have left him. 12 times your daughter begged you to make him leave. 12 times you said he's going to change. He loves us. We're a family. Today you discover what God thinks about mothers who trade their children's safety for a man's affection.
Angela Watson, the mother who failed. Let me present your 7-year betrayal of your own children. Year 1. Derek moved in 3 months after you met him. Your daughter Emma was 9. She told you, Mommy, I don't like him. He looks at me weird. You said give him a chance. He's nice. 6 months later, Emma came to you crying, saying Derek touched her inappropriately. You said she was lying, making up stories for attention. You chose to believe him over her, your own daughter. Year 3, your son Michael, age 10, tried to defend Emma during an argument. Derek grabbed him, threw him against the wall, broke his arm. You took him to the hospital, told them he fell. The doctor suspected abuse, asked if Michael was safe at home. You said yes. You lied to protect Derek. Your son went home to his abuser because you couldn't lose your boyfriend. Year 5. Your youngest, Sophie, age 6, started wetting the bed again, having nightmares, crying for no reason, classic trauma responses. Your mother begged you to leave Derek. Your sister offered you a place to stay. Your children begged you to make him leave. You said, I love him. He's going to change. We need to give him another chance. You chose him again. Year 7. Emma, now 16, ran away. Found by police 3 days later. Told them everything. Derek's abuse. You're enabling. You're choosing him over her safety for 7 years. Child Protective Services investigated. You know what you did. You convinced Emma to recant her statement. Told her if Derek goes to jail, we lose the house. We'll be homeless. You guilted your abused daughter into protecting her abuser to save your relationship. Matthew 18:6 says if anyone causes one of these little ones to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and be drowned. You didn't just allow your children to stumble. You pushed them. You sacrificed them. You chose a man over the souls God gave you. You're not just guilty. You're utterly condemned.
I was lonely. Do you know what it's like being a single mother with 3 kids? No one wants that. Derek wanted me. He made me feel loved. I couldn't just throw that away because of a few arguments. And I tried to keep the peace. I tried to make everyone happy. I told Derek to be nicer to the kids. I told the kids to be more respectful. I was doing my best with an impossible situation. Emma exaggerated. Teenage girls are dramatic. Michael was clumsy. He did hurt himself sometimes. Sophie was just sensitive. I never saw Derek do anything that bad. They made it sound worse than it was. I was there. I would have known if my kids were really being abused. And leaving isn't that simple. Where would we go? How would we survive? I needed Derek's income. I needed help with the kids. I couldn't do it alone. I was stuck. What was I supposed to do? Sacrifice my happiness and struggle alone, just because my kids didn't like my boyfriend?
Because you're a mother, and mothers protect. Above all else. Above loneliness. Above need for companionship. Above personal happiness. You protect your children, and you failed, catastrophically. Emma didn't exaggerate. She told you at age 9 that Derek touched her inappropriately. She told the truth, and you called your daughter a liar to keep your boyfriend. 1 Timothy 5-8 says anyone who does not provide for their relatives has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. You didn't just fail to provide. You exposed them to danger, made them live with their abuser. That's worse than abandonment.
But I needed him. I couldn't do it alone.
Proverbs 14:1 says the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. You tore your house down. Your mother offered help. Your sister offered a home. Your church offered support. You had options. You chose Derek because you valued your relationship over your children's safety. That's not need. That's selfishness. Let me show you what your choice cost. Emma is 17 now. She doesn't trust men. She doesn't trust you. She has nightmares about Derek, about you choosing him over her. She's in therapy trying to understand why her mother didn't believe her, didn't protect her, didn't love her enough to leave. Michael is 15. He's angry, violent at school, suspended 3 times this year for fighting. You know why? Because he learned from Derek that violence is how men solve problems. And he learned from you that the people who should protect you won't. He's repeating the cycle you allowed. Sophie is 11. She barely speaks. Withdrawn, diagnosed with anxiety and PTSD, terrified of men, terrified of relationships, terrified her grandmother will choose a boyfriend over her too. You taught her that mothers don't protect, that love is conditional, that she's not worth fighting for. You said you loved your children. But 1 Corinthians 13:4-7 says love protects. Love always protects. You didn't protect. You sacrificed them for 7 years. Proverbs 6:16-19 lists things I hate. You know what's on that list? Hands that shed innocent blood. You didn't physically harm them, but you put them in harm's way knowing they'd be hurt. That's the same.
What about forgiveness? What about grace?
Grace covers repentance. You never repented. You defended your choices until your last breath. You died in a car with Derek, still choosing him, still justifying, still blaming everyone but yourself. Luke 17:2 says it would be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck than to cause one of these little ones to stumble. You caused 3 to stumble for 7 years. That debt is paid now forever. How many of you are Angela right now? Choosing boyfriends over children? Ignoring abuse because you don't want to be alone? Making your kids live with men who hurt them because you need the relationship? Proverbs 31:8-9 says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute." Your children can't defend themselves from adult men. You're their voice, their protection, their only defense. And you're choosing silence because you don't want to lose a relationship? Ephesians 6:4 says, "Do not exasperate your children. You're not just exasperating them, you're traumatizing them, betraying them, teaching them their safety matters less than your happiness. Stop. If your boyfriend poses any threat to your children, he goes. Today, no second chances, no probation. No, he's going to change. He leaves or you're Angela. Your children are temporary. Your relationship is temporary. But the trauma you're allowing will mark them forever. Choose your children. Choose their safety. Choose to protect them. Before you stand where Angela stands, condemned for sacrificing your children on the altar of romance, choose now, before it's too late. If you've been choosing a relationship over your children's safety and God is convicting you, type "My children come first" in the comments. Share this with mothers who need to hear their children's safety matters more than their relationship status. Like if you commit to protecting children over preserving relationships. Subscribe for messages that defend the vulnerable and hold parents accountable. She chose her boyfriend over her children for 7 years. Ignored abuse. Enabled trauma. Defended her choice until death. Her children survived. But they're broken. She's condemned. Not for being lonely, for sacrificing her children to solve it. Choose your children, always, or answer for choosing wrong. 7 years of choosing wrong. 3 children traumatized. 1 mother who valued a man more than her babies. 1 God who will never forgive those who sacrifice children for relationships. Mothers protect. If you don't, you're not mothering. You're betraying.